Oh, it's going to be a good show. We've been having a good time talking about all sorts of things before I click the button. How's everyone doing? Thank you for tuning in. Episode, what are we on? 62. What listening to? 62. 62. Yeah. It's it's been a hell of a ride from 0 to 62. Let's do the housekeeping. I don't like doing this. Let's get it out of the way. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Everybody.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. And
like and subscribe.
Hit the notification bell. There you go. All right. Dennis is back. Good to see you, Dennis. The boy's back in town.
Thank you.
Matt's with us. Todd's here from an undisclosed location.
My bunker. It's my survival bunker.
It's going to be a great show. I'm excited for everyone's picks tonight. Is anyone out there? Let's check. I'm always nervous about seeing if anyone's watching. There's
My
usually
dad
people
might show up.
Your dad might come. Hey, wow, look at this. It's on fire tonight.
Alex.
Hey,
right.
Cheers, Vincent.
Hey, Jeff.
Cheers. The man himself, Mr. Rice.
Oh, shit.
There he is. His ears were burning. There you go.
Yep.
There you go. Hi, Jeff. Hey, Alex Moorhead, a.k.a. Warhead, is here. Hey, Warhead. Mr. Conway's here.
Pat Vogel.
Hope someone's got some Jesse Core picks to please Jesse tonight. Mike's here. Thanks for the t-shirt, Mike. I'm wearing it. And it does still have cat hair on it. I can vouch for that. There you go. Hey, Patrick's here. Hey. Hi, Patrick.
Vogel!
Vogel!
Man with all the amps.
Everyone's here. There's too many people to
12 strings of power.
There we go. Marvin's here watching from Mexico. Is that Mexico? There we go. All right. Everyone knows the format. We've each got 5 or more records. We're going to have a great time talking about. I can't wait to see what everyone's picks are. Shall we get going? Shall we start?
Do it.
Let's get going. Hey, by the way, it's Mina's birthday. It's Mina's birthday tomorrow, right? Tomorrow?
Monday.
It's too early to say. Happy birthday. Cheers.
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 Happy B-Day.
There you go. So let me set the scene for this one. I've got quite a story about it.
Oh shit.
Frankie's flipping out. Sorry.
Frankie?
Yeah.
Hey, John Hand's here. Thanks, Mike. And friends. There you go. Wow, there's a lot of people here tonight. I can't click on everyone. It's like, yeah, wow.
Hazel.
Like,
oh shit.
Hey.
Nice.
Cheers, Hazel. There you go. Let me take you back. Cast your minds back. It's 1983. I'm a boy, about 17 years old. I've been at boarding school. It's been hell. I've got a best friend. We like grew up with heavy metal. Then we got into punk. And we left school. We moved to this town called Carlisle in the north of England. And we lived together. It was a crazy days back then. We lived together. Like at that time, like my favorite punk record was like Discharge. Hear Nothing, See Nothing, Say Nothing. It probably still is actually to this day, but I used to play that thing to death, and he hated it. Like my friend Steve didn't like it because he had another favorite record that he wanted to play all the time, and I was like, "Don't put that on. We're gonna listen to Discharge again." So he didn't get much of a look in this record. But all these years later, I finally bought a copy for myself. So when I got it, man, it really took me back to like that stinky little like room in Carlisle in England. And can you guess what it is? The band also begins with DIS. UK 1983. What are you thinking?
Disorder.
Good guess. Wrong guesses, but good guesses. It's a bit, I don't know if it's that obscure. They're on Bullshit Detector 1. They had a track on Bullshit Detector number 1. There's a massive hint, massive clue for you. They're from Norwich. Another massive, massive hint. They're the best thing to come out of Norwich since Alan Partridge. Let's have a look at the record, shall we? It's great. Well, the Disruptors. The Disruptors. There you go. Marvin Gauntlet got it just before I showed the record. There you go. That's right. The Disruptors from Norwich.
Do you owe Steve an apology?
I do. You know what? It's still not better than Hear Nothing, See Nothing, Say Nothing. It still isn't, but it's great. It's a great record. This is a reissue, actually. Just came out on Overground Records. It was on Radical Change in 1983. You know what this sounds like? And I can't think of another band that actually kind of sounds like this. It's like a perfect mix of like UK 82, a la Partisans, and like early Flux of Pink Indians. So it's like an anarcho-punk band. They are an anarcho-punk band, but they're kind of doing like this kind of, like UK 82 anarcho-punk. It's fucking great. It's kind of heavy too. Like the guitars are kind of heavy for the time. Very political lyrics about like the Falklands War that was going on and everything at that time. Great stuff. So just think Partisans meets like Flux of Pink Indians, and you've got the Disruptors. Any fans?
Don't know them.
They're not like super obscure, I want to say. Like if you're an anarcho-punk maniac or a UK 82 maniac, I think they had like 1 7-inch or 2 this record, another record, and they were kind of gone. But Bullshit Detector 1, that was where they were born. Great stuff. Check it out. You can buy it easily now, thanks to Overground Records reissued it. Oh, this shouldn't have been, but it is. This is part of my 501 series. What's the 501 series? The 501 series is like records that I bought for 501 yen, which is like $3.42, which is crazy. This is not a $3.40.
That's a good
record.
fucking deal.
It is a good deal. It's too cheap though. It's too cheap. This is a great record. If you like Partisans, you like Flux of Pink Indians, check out the Disruptors. There you go. That's my first pick of the day.
Sounds sick. Sounds really good.
It's pretty good. It's not perfect. It's not a classic, but it's very good. It's a great record, I would say. Oh, there's even a documentary about them. So they're not there. There you go.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go. Sorry to be a little bit obscure for my my first pick, but there you go.
Why didn't we talk about Beyonce then?
Yes,
Beyonce's on deck.
One of hers.
Just kidding.
Might have.
All right, Dennis, what you got for your
Me? All right.
first pick?
This is not obscure.
Good.
But been listening to this a lot.
Oh man.
Woo!
What an iconic cover. This cover is freaking badass. It's so good. Yeah. Suzi Quatro album.
Nice
Stuff.
Pinky Tuscadero.
Yeah. And then you get a bonus Wild Ones.
There you go. Man,
Yeah.
there's a whole ton of like picture sleeve like Japanese Suzi Quatro singles.
I bet they're all
cheap.
over the place. Dollar bin.
They are, yeah. But they're so good. Like, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you ever see the gatefold of this with a cool picture of her in that's really sick. It was kind of too expensive for me to get here on Discogs or whatever. I couldn't justify it, but definitely would love to get one of those when I'm over there. Obi or not, the gatefold's really freaking cool.
Hang on, what's the one with her in the car? Like that they're all in the car. That's a different Suzi Quatro record, but that's a cool gatefold too. Like they're in this like 70s like car and they're like hanging out the window.
Right.
Car.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oddly enough, this is the only one that I can really super get into. You know, I've checked out a bunch of the other ones. None of them sound like this.
That's the best one. The others are kind of patchy, right? You get like 2 or 3 real bangers, and then a lot of like poppy ballads and stuff, right?
Yeah. And the production's way different. The production's really fucked up on this. Like, the guitars are really like kind of dirty and thin and weird sounding, you know, and the drums are really loud. Apparently she's not a big glam rock fan. She had said, I'd read like interviews about it. It just kind of turned out that way.
Just fell into it, right?
Yeah.
I remember like
every
when she
song on this fucking rules.
what song is that? It's like Devilgate Drive on there, and
That one might actually be on the next. Or a
Can
different one.
Can
48 Crash.
48 Crash.
Queen, Shine
Oh,
My
yeah.
Machine. Want to Be Your Man. All Shook Up cover. Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Skin Tight Skin. Can the Can was the big like hit.
that was the huge hit in England, yeah.
Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
album.
it's funny because she's American, right? But like she found her success in the UK, like in the 70s with the big glam rock boom.
From
right?
Detroit.
Yeah.
And there is a documentary that I watched that came. I don't know what services it's on, but I paid like $2 to watch it or whatever. And the thing that struck Amanda and I both that was like really fucking weird, like, you know, she left her family. They had like a family band or something that they used to do.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called, but yeah, she left, and they're really salty. Like, they just sound real shitty. They were just, I mean, they're like, oh yeah, we love her, da da da. But they're like, but I would never be a Suzi Quatro fan. She's just Suzi, my sister. Like, I'm just kind of like, that just sounds spiteful. You guys are mad that she moved away or something. I don't know. And I don't know. That was one thing that I thought was really weird. But the documentary is pretty cool.
We're just jealous they weren't on Happy Days.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, how could you not be jealous? I'm jealous. I'm jealous of the Fawns. I mean, I'm not the Fawns. That'd be cool.
There you go. Leather.
Pinky or leather? I thought it was Pinky, but amazing.
You stand corrected.
Yeah, you do.
I roll it.
That whole era was just so good, like with all those bands, Slade, Sweet, you know, fucking Suzi Quatro. It's great stuff.
Yeah, 73. So yeah, early 70s. 72 is such a magic rock and roll year too. Like, damn.
Absolutely.
See that year on it, you know it's probably going to be good.
There you go. Leather was Pinky's sister. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I can't remember if Suzi Quatro played Leather or Pinky. I can't remember which sister she played on Happy Days.
Me neither.
I think she was Leather, right?
It makes sense that she'll be Leather, right?
Yeah.
I haven't watched that show in a long time. You ever heard the Nuclear Soul cover of the Happy Days song? It's fucking funny. Check it out.
The thing that makes me laugh, not to kind of go on about Happy Days too much, it's just like they were supposed to be teenagers, right? It's like Henry Winkler was like 55 or whatever. All right, that's a crowd pleaser. That one. That's a crowd pleasing first pick. Unlike the Disruptors. All right, Matt, what's your first pick?
All right, here we go. This one came in the mail this week. I don't buy a lot of records. I just love music. So, 1983.
Oh
shit!
Same year as the Disruptors. There you
Mike
go.
was a young man in England.
I was.
When this record came out.
I was
in England, and I found out about this band from like some random chat or something. I'd never heard of them, and I love new wave of British heavy metal. I'm pretty sure all of us here love new wave of British heavy metal. Savage, Loose and Lethal.
What? Savage. What a savage pick. Man.
This is the reissue with like the demos and shit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's on High Roller Records, so it's
nice.
It's nice.
High Roller are a great label. They do
make
a great
the coolest shit. But yeah, it comes with this fucking poster. Like, because I'm gonna hang it up right now. The poster. And it came with this.
Oh, what's that?
The book about Savage, written by Todd. And it comes with a promo card. Oh, here we go. Look at those pants, guys. Look at those pants.
That's the way to dress.
Yeah. So this record is this is some really hot shit, man. This is this song on here called White Hot Rock, and it's a really good way to describe the guitar tone because this shit just sounds nasty.
It's fucking nasty, right?
Gross.
Yeah.
And this record just is badass. It's the singer's more like raspy than he is like melodic style from this period. Like new wave of British heavy metal, you normally have a guy that can sing a little better than the dude from Savage, but he's loose and lethal. I mean, Savage, loose, and lethal is exactly the way to describe everything on this record. It's badass.
It's almost like thrash, right? In places.
Yeah,
right?
almost. But it doesn't. It's not dumb. Like it doesn't get dumb.
No.
Like it doesn't get too fast where they like feel where it feels like they might be in over their heads with a lot of those bands. They started playing too fast before they were capable, maybe. But the songs like China Run, holy shit, this shit's fucking burns. On the Rocks, yeah, like I hadn't even listened to the demos. That's the other one. Like Todd, have you listened to the demos on this? Do you have this one?
I don't have that. I have an older version that doesn't have that on it, but I love that record too.
It's fucking.
I love the art. The art's incredible. This guy Gary Sharp did the cover. He did like a lot of British new wave of heavy metal stuff. Anything with it's all. I love. What is he doing? So those are cops. It's like some mutant on a future motorcycle. But they're like, what's in his right hand? He's spinning something and like smashing a cop.
Like
I love
a bolo.
it. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Like
so.
There's a lot going on. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, man. Look at that guy's head. Like, sorry about your luck, dude. Like, yeah, and the front wheels got like all this like serious nasty shit on it. Like,
it doesn't even work. It's amazing.
But yeah, I love this band. I forget how I heard about them, but yeah, I finally like broke down and spent like the big
money
to have this
well spent. I would say absolutely.
I love this band.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the best.
It's so good.
New wave of British.
It reminds me of Exciter a little bit.
Yeah, like a little bit.
Like almost like fucking super thrash metal, double cannons all the time, but like a little bit more riffy.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, this is awesome.
And like just to go back to that guitar tone, man, that's like one of the best. It's crazy, man. Like it's filthy.
It's fucking nasty.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I think that it's like the when we were in Nukkehammer, we tried to have like the nastiest guitar tone. We always be fucking with our guitar player's amp, trying to make it as nasty as possible. And it was we were going for this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got this like kind of like, oh man, I can't describe it. It's like it's like fucking, it's metallic, but not in the way that you would love it. It sounds like just like grinding sheets of metal.
It's gross. It's like not like it sounds like a Marshall. Like, nah, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like something broke in the amp.
And I bet you, like, if I know like these guys from the era, they probably don't like it they're probably like, fuck, man, if only we could have gotten a decent guitar tone on our first record, we would have sold millions. But don't change it. Don't re-record it. It's perfect.
This is definitely a broken. Yeah, it sounds broken. It's perfect. It's great.
It's perfect. Classic. 10 out of 10 classic.
And it has so much accoutrement, like double vinyl. Like, this label's so cool, man. They do the coolest shit.
I love High Roller. Yeah, they've rescued a lot of like obscure, like new British heavy metal. They've done like really good reissues of stuff like that. Great label, great label. Todd, what are you gonna do for your first pick?
I'm gonna tell the truth, and this is what am I listening to? Like, I'm listening to what I just got in the mail.
Cool.
This is a record that I had and I got rid of, and it came back up on somebody's list, and I was like, I'll give it another shot. And then anyways,
yeah.
I'm definitely also doing this on purpose to get a reaction. Oh no, it's a guilty pleasure for sure. There's listening to it, like, I haven't listened to this in like 10 years. I like, not that it matters, but like you can hear like a lot of modern hardcore stuff, like bands that I don't have a problem with, but I just don't listen to. But like all the kind of moshy stuff, like it's totally from this record, like in a way that like it's just directly lifted. And so I don't know what to say other than like it sounds crazy. It's got the drumming. I mean, he's an incredible drummer, and you know it's Miner's favorite band, so I figured I had to cover it.
That was the first one, right? And then Roots was after it.
Yeah. So this was. So like they had like a 6-album run, whether or not you liked all 6, like all the way through Roots, like they're all like remarkable in some way, like impactful. Then they kept going, but like that, did anybody have that long of a run? Like arguably, other than like Maiden, Thin Lizzy, Metallica, like.
You're trying to trigger him now.
Saxon had like a great 6 run.
6?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, I love Motorhead, but do they have like 6 like albums in a row?
They have 27 albums in a row.
I know they have 27 in a row, but they aren't like Snakebite Love is not like where I'm going.
True.
You know?
They have 6 good records in a row, like definitely. Think about it. The first album, Overkill, Bomber, Ace of Spades, Iron Fist, Another Perfect Day, Orgasmatron.
Okay, so you get up there. That'll get you up there.
Yeah.
The classic lineup isn't 6, but you could go past the classic lineup.
True. Yeah.
Okay.
I like Arise a lot. I don't know if people like Arise.
What happened after Roots? What album came after Roots?
There's like several after Roots.
There's a lot, right?
They got like a new singer.
Derek Green.
Like, me and Dennis got punished by that band a couple times with the new singer
from
Derek.
Cleveland.
Derek, from Outface on vocals.
Yeah.
Was he in Outface?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Now it all ties in together with what Todd was saying about like everything being lifted from, you know, all that like that moshcore stuff was totally taken from Outface. Were that kind of a band, right?
Yeah, they're
kind of. There's more melodic.
Okay. I did not know that. I did not know he was in Outface. Wow.
Dude, yeah. Man, I remember when that Chaos AD came out too, and I was like, these fucking guys saw Earth Crisis or something. and then just like perfected it, you know. Yeah, it just sounded like that, but done better. I'd say.
I like how all the early Sepultura stuff, it was all lifted from hardcore punk. Like Schizophrenia was taken from Restated album, right? That they got that from there. They got Arise from the Mimics. Chaos probably came from Chaos UK. I don't know, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Really important band though, man. It's amazing when you go back and watch all that like early stuff, like the real early like footage from like that old Brazilian metal scene. It's fucking crazy, right?
I always go back and watch that one YouTube they're playing in a skate park or something in the late 80s, and it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It does have Jello Biafra on it. Forgot about that. I gave Igor the Meat Mix 7-inch steak. There you go. Well,
Confirmed.
he's living in London now, right? Igor lives in London, hangs out with Discharge and stuff, right? There you go. All right, I got to go with I can't keep doing obscure stuff. I got to go with a classic that everyone knows. Well, I hope everyone knows it. It doesn't matter if no one knows it. 72. Great year, right? I got something from 72. So we were talking about the other day. We always talk about this, but on some of the Facebooks and the Instagrams and stuff, like all of that, like the fucking classic, like hard rock and heavy rock records that came out in the early 70s that like aren't Black Sabbath or Led Zeppelin or Deep Purple or Uriah Heep or Atomic Rooster. There's tons of them, right? We started kind of discovering all these like more obscure ones like Captain Beyond and like Sir Lord Baltimore. Even Budgie was like a little bit obscure at that time. Now I don't think Budgie are obscure at all. But this is one of my favorites from that era. I think they only put one record out. Anyone guess what it is? It's one of the wildest ones. It's fucking raw and dirty and kind of proto-punk.
Growers of Mushroom.
Good call. That's also amazing. That's an amazing one. But you're kind of close. I'm going to go with.
Oh yeah.
Ah, that record's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go. Does not get much better than this. It's like there's nothing really like sounds like this. They had their own thing going on. It's kind of like a heavy psych record, really, but they kind of turned up the notch by about 25. And it's kind of an unhinged record, man. It's got this unhinged like energy to the whole thing, where it's kind of fast too. They have these fast songs on here. Ian Gillan discovered them, right? Ian Gillan from Deep Purple, and like he produced it, wrote the liner notes on the back.
The sound's
it's a classic, right?
Great record.
The sound is incredible.
It is, man. It's just it's unhinged. It's just got this like energy to it that just like jumps out the speakers at you. And Ian Gillan's production is like super raw. It's perfect. I'm kind of glad he didn't go over the top with his production on it. But, yeah, this is like one of the best, like from that era of like kind of a little bit obscure, like hard, heavy rock records.
Yeah, it's full of hits. The whole thing. Yeah, it's not like a Dust record where you love some of the songs and other ones are like.
Actually, Scoots is saying this is like an original Japanese pressing on Deram from like 1972. No Obi. This might be one of my best scores ever. It's like 900 yen, I think. That wouldn't happen now. This is like when people hadn't really kind of discovered this stuff yet. Yeah, so it's a 72 King record.
When you saw it, did you get it? Did you know what it was, or you
no,
just were like, that cover art is awesome, I have to get it?
I saw the cover. I was like, I'm getting that. And I flipped it over. Awesome. And then I saw like Ian Gillan's like notes and everything. I was like, "Fuck! I've hit the jackpot with this one."
That's rad,
right? I didn't know what it was. No.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a good day. That was a good day.
Super cool.
Should I read Ian Gillan's notes because I think they're really cool? This is coming from the guy that's kind of in one of the biggest bands in the world in that time, right? Ian Gillan, Deep Purple. He's like, "This is the first album by Jerusalem, a band which excites me very much. They are rough, they're raw, they're doomy." Ian Gillan using the word doomy in 1972. I like that. They're with their own strong identity. And he kind of goes on. He's like, their material is almost crude. But he's a huge fan. He's like, I've got to get this band into a studio. And like, so thanks to Ian Gillan, man.
Thanks, Ian Gillan.
Yeah.
We love you, Ian Gillan.
You got to love that, right? The guy's in one of the biggest bands in the world. And he's like fucking championing this like under this kind of small band.
He was a fucking babe too. He wear that denim, like that chambray shirt on stage, and fucking. Oh.
He's great, man. He's great. Check out these fellas, though.
Yeah.
And Just the song titles, man. It's like Frustration is the first song, right? Hooded Eagle, Murderer's Lament, When the Wolf Sits. That's
it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's a sick song. Midnight Steamer. Midnight Steamer. Primitive Man is a fucking stomper as well.
Primitive
Beyond
Man's
the
the best
Grave.
one.
She Came Like a Bat from Hell. Man. Just perfect. Just perfect. Oh,
That's a good goddamn rock and roll record.
Yeah, it's heavy, but it's also like it's almost like proto punk, proto heavy metal. It's like it's got everything in there. It's great. It's classic. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna calm down now. I'm super excited about that record. There you go.
Badass.
It's great, man. All right. Follow Jerusalem. Follow Jerusalem, if you will, if you can. That's my peak tonight. It's all downhill from here.
And it's pretty hard to beat that.
It's
I was going to save it for later, but I was like, let's get this going.
Yeah, that's probably like if I could save like 20 albums and trash the rest, I'd have to have one of those.
Oh yeah,
I'd keep that one as one of them.
Oh.
I just have a repress, but still,
I'm glad it got repressed though. You know,
what's that? The Jerusalem album?
Yeah, it got repressed right by Rockadome.
I got mine's on A Karma, but I don't think A Karma's around anymore.
A Karma's like a grey area, almost bootleg kind of a label, but they do a lot of stuff too. But yeah, I'd rather not get A Karma, but I do sometimes if it's like the only option, I'll go for the A Karma. But I'd rather not. But you know,
right on. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't even remember what label mine's on.
I'm gonna have to burn all my Groundhogs records now.
Don't do that.
All right.
So many like private jokes that I'm not privy to, but I'll just laugh along with everyone. Just nobody. You like? Is Matt a Groundhogs fan?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
They're
right.
all on A Karma. All my Groundhogs albums are on A Karma.
Okay.
I didn't know it was less than legit.
All right. Dennis, what you got?
All right, we're gonna go with some of the nonsensical thrash metal, speed metal. This is kind of in that area, but I feel like they're a lot tighter than a lot of those bands where, like Matt was saying, they're playing beyond their abilities. But I think these guys do it really freaking well. Witch's Hammer.
Oh,
yeah.
Witch's Hammer.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This
Canadian speed metal.
It's
got to be good.
That is an amazing pick. I don't know that record, but it's going to totally tie in with my next pick.
Yeah, it's got a really sick. This is probably the artwork from the original self-titled, but that one.
Yeah, that record's great.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just really a lot of changes, really tight, super fast. The guitar playing is just like, I don't know, it's pretty well done. What is it like? Yeah, I don't know if there's a Blasphemy connection. Todd, you would know that probably.
Their guitarist was in Blasphemy. He
All
joined
right.
Blasphemy afterwards.
There you
he's
go.
like he's the weightlifter who joined Blasphemy. Marco, I think his name's Marco. He's very tan. Respect Marco.
Yeah. Marco's probably scary.
Yes. He's in Blasphemy. They're terrifying.
Wow. They're coming to Japan next month. Anyway, Dennis, carry on. Witch's Hammer.
Go.
Nice. Yeah, this is from '87, self-titled, and then there's an unreleased album that was the year later on this, and it's really good too. There's like 10 more songs than but yeah, and they just put out an album in 2020, and it's actually really fucking good.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, it's really funny. Like it's got like, you know, a drawing of the speed metal logo thing, but it's like a crop circle in that logo, and it's got like light coming out of it. It's really fucking fun.
Nice,
But yeah, it's just like a modern version of them. I mean, it's not, they didn't stray from it. It just is like a, kind of a more modern produced thing, but it sounds really good. I haven't bought it, but I've listened to it a good amount.
If I'm not mistaken, that Witch's Hammer that you showed it's a Supreme Echo release, right?
Nuclear War Now put it out.
Really?
Yeah, that's the version I have.
Ghost
But
Escape
it has
put it
been
out.
Okay.
has been repressed after that.
I think I want to say that we'll get to that later, but I'm sure that Supreme Echo also did a version of it. Maybe
They're Canadian, so it would make sense.
right? Yes, yeah.
West Coast. They're from BC, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, still pretty active. I bought a shirt from them, and yeah, they have a shirt of their demo. Like, you can't even read it. It's kind of nice for wearing to work. You don't have anyone like, it's his hammer. What's that? But yeah, super sick. Yeah, I don't even know how to. The vocals are kind of like Paul Bailoff or whatever ish, like that kind of like early the first Exodus singer, and just super fucking fast and impressive sounding thrash metal. I don't know. It's not overly technical, but it's busy.
Nice.
Awesome record.
Beautiful.
I gotta check that one out.
Me too.
It's got the speed metal
Yeah,
logo on it. It's good.
Yeah, dude, you'll like it for sure.
Yeah, it's weird. I wouldn't call it speed metal. Probably it's not melodic enough. But what is speed metal? I don't know. I'm sure these guys that were doing that back then, they can say.
Yeah.
If they say it's speed metal, it's
it's for them to say. Yeah.
Right.
Not for
Nice.
a VLV argument or whatever.
Cool. Witch's Hammer. There you go. All right, Matt, what's your...
All right, next pick. I bought this record came out in 2023. Swedish band. Kind of divisive band, but I've loved them since their first album came out, and their new album is kind of a return to form.
Oh, okay.
Divisive band, but I've like I said, I fucking love this band. Goat. This record's great. Psychedelic, heavy psych, super big vibe on Zamrock. That's the thing about they kind of have like this costumey thing that people think's culturally appropriative of African tribal stuff. And like, I don't know, to me, it's just another band from Sweden that does retro jams better than most everybody. So this is like kind of like the Zamrock Swedish band that does Zamrock super well.
Nice.
But this band is fucking awesome. And if you've never heard them, they have like a new Levitation session out on YouTube where they play like a whole album's worth of shit live in their own studio, and they're wearing all their costumes and shit. Their music's so good. Like, this song starts out like fuzz guitar and a fucking flute solo, and then goes into like two fucking great female vocalists harmonizing, and then just goes into this. This one's very Eastern sounding. Some of their like, it gets very Sabbathy, but mixed with like Eastern shit, and then like African shit, and very funky. But like super sick. Like, this record's like, it's badass, and I like all their shit, and this is one of their best records.
Cool.
But yeah, I wish every band dressed like the MC5 too, but like guys wear costumes and like but like I've never seen them live. I'd love to see them live. All my friends have seen them live, said they're fucking awesome live. Like, this record's killer.
Nice looking record. Medicine.
Cool
What's the name of the Medicine is the name of the album?
Medicine, yeah. This is their brand new album. Like, but yeah, this is killer shit. Like, if you like Zamrock and Black Sabbath, boom.
I'm wow.
Yeah, this is one of those things where you don't really want to start off on a band's 6th album, but this album I would start off on if I've never heard this band.
All right.
Their first album's called World Music. I think it's their best album. It came out in like 2012 or 2011. But yeah, I've kept up with this band, and I think they're great. This shit's fucking killer.
Nice.
Flute solo, heavy guitars, and like fuzz rock. It's sick, and it's not cliche, and it doesn't sound. They're not ripping anybody off. They just look weird, and people have a problem with the way they look because I don't know. They're from Sweden, and they look like like they're like African tribes people. You know what I mean? So
right. Goat.
Killer shit. Goat. Yeah.
Goat. Yeah.
Check it out.
Park.
Flute solo.
Flute solo.
I think there's multiple flute solos on this album, and this is going to become a theme tonight. Is that I love goddamn flute solos. So
hey,
get prepared.
Look who's watching me from above, man. I'm all about the flute solo. Ian Anderson. Right.
I'm a fucking flute solo motherfucker, man. Mellotron flute, Mellotron flute is one of my favorite sounds in music. Like, I just love a flute. Like, so yeah.
I'm a flute guy.
If anyone's got any recommendations for heavy rock with flutes that I don't already know about,
I got one. Blood Ceremony, but you already know that band, I guess. Blood Ceremony.
Canadian band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flutes.
I'll dig.
You'll like them. I guarantee. All right. Where are we? Oh, okay. Todd, what's your
okay. Sweden, 1990 something. Sunlight Studios.
Oh.
But like not one of the big ones. Carbonized.
Ooh.
I got it because it looked like a crust record.
It does a bit, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like on the back, like it looks like a crust record. You can't really see it, but it's got like a little sticker here. Distroed by Action Records out of Massachusetts for the 90s heads. It's weird. It's got like a lot of off-time stuff, and it's not like totally like straightforward like Entombed or Carnage style, but I'm super into it. This is like a recent discovery, like past 5 years or so. I don't know. I come back to it a lot. It's not like overly tech, but it is like a little weird. And apparently they get a little, the second album. I haven't heard the second one. I heard it gets a little too jazz fusiony on the second and the third albums. I kind of stay away from that. Minor might be into that. There might be flutes. I'm not sure.
me.
But I'm super into this record. It's real. And okay, sorry. This is the most important part, and hopefully this will read on camera. But their drummer is the coolest looking guy with those sunglasses.
Oh yeah, sick.
Yotor?
Yeah, for sure.
He looks a little bit like the singer of Stone Temple Pilots.
He kind of does, but this is before that. But I'm like really into art and pictures on records. It's one of my things that attracts me to them because I'm dumb and I need big pictures. And I love this picture.
It's cool.
Like this guy was like, oh, this is how I'm going to look on my record for all of eternity. Like, this is fucking cool. Like, these other guys look kind of like standard Swedish guys.
Right.
This guy's got like
that guy doesn't care.
And like a jacket on and like a neck beard and those sunglasses. And he looks really fucking cool because of it. And I love this picture a lot.
It's cool. Yeah. I've heard the name.
Christopher
I've not checked out that record, but it's got to be
Is that
good.
band from Sweden too?
Sweden.
Well,
Yeah.
He's actually the drummer's Polish.
Oh,
There you go.
And I think this band shares members with another band. I think they're called Therion, who also got a little weird.
Therion were kind of what got big, right? They went more in that kind of weird, like too melodic direction, right?
My understanding, and I'm not like an expert, but my understanding is this was like their side project. But I think it's like super cool and interesting, and it's a little like I think this was like prog rock weirdos trying to play straightforward Swedish death metal, but they're still playing it kind of weird and sideways, if that makes any sense.
Mm-mm.
And no, it's not Chuck Biscuits. It's Polish Chuck Biscuits. It's Piotr Biscuits.
Piotr Biscuits. Sorry. Tough disorders.
So that's my pick.
That's nice, man.
Carbonized.
Carbonized. I've heard of it, but I've not checked it out.
For the Security by Carbonized.
Nice.
I like that it's not like a typical death metal album cover.
It's black and white.
I looked. It got my attention because I was like, "What's this weird Swedish crust record that I've never seen before?" I mean, it's no three-way come, but it's still pretty good.
Hey, what is, my friends? What is?
There are two singers too little on this record, but they're still.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna switch around my order because we're in Sweden. I'm gonna stay in Sweden as well. I'm gonna stay in Sweden as well for my third pick.
Oh, yeah.
I think people will know this band, but they might have stopped listening to them for a reason or two. I kind of followed them for a bit and jumped off. I jumped back on again. I actually talked about this band like last year. Talked about their first LP. Not ABBA, no. Yeah. So this band was like, they kind of started off as like one of those like dark melodic Swedish punk bands, like, you know, like Mass Hysteria style, you know. Their first record is kind of a classic in that style. And then they pretty quickly were like, kind of move away from this and kind of get like more poppy and ethereal and like mellow but still write really, really amazing songs. And the third LP is quite a jump from the first one, but the new one is like 10 jumps further away from like that one. They've gone
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
This one's really kind of dancey, poppy, right?
Yeah,
I listened to
it about Vånna Inget. It's just gonna be. They broke up now. This is their last record they're gonna do. It's not too dancey. It's like it's just real, like really, really good, like morose, melancholic, like pop music with like amazing vocals from this woman Carolina Engdahl, who's the singer. This is a real like nice late at night record. And you can still hear like traces of like their origins. It's in there a little bit, but it's just a tiny bit, right? I mean, basically, if you like take out like all of the punk, like all of it from like their early records, this is what you're left with. You're just left with like dark, like pop music. I think it's great. I don't know. It's like
I liked what I heard. I don't think I could get into the one before it, but
the one before it was Utopia, which is like. Yeah. I think this is a better record. The songs are better, and they've gone like, fuck it, we're going full on with this. Like when we're going like full on with like the dark pop with this one, and none of the punk. It's great. It's funny because a lot of Swedish bands do this, right? Like Robert from Mass Hysteria is like doing Hurula, which is like just mainstream pop, and Terrible Feelings. That band, Terrible Feelings, the singer Manuela Johansson did like a pop record.
Yeah, her solo stuff. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's great. It's very different to this stuff. Her stuff is more like almost like Kim Wilde, like upbeat, Pat Benatar, Kim Wilde. Let's have a good time. This ain't that. This is like moody, morose, depressing, dark. You can tell. Look at the cover. Yeah.
Skeletons.
Skeletons.
Is it
You fucking
Vånna
died,
Inget?
bro.
Vånna Inget. Yeah. They got real big in Sweden. They were like nominated for Grammys and stuff in Sweden, you know.
Yeah.
Good, like really good like songwriters, obviously, who
Nice.
could like get into the mainstream. But they broke up now. They have another band called True Moon, which takes us even further. Yeah, came out last year. The bassist was in Sista Sekunden, if anybody remembers that band.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Good. I think I need to buy that about it.
Yeah, you know, it's different. Sunday night punk, I call it. But I don't think this one is. It's not really, because it's like no punk in it at all, you know.
Yeah, I saw them on the tour when they came through the U.S. I think it was just on that first album, but I saw them in Pittsburgh. Amanda and I went. They were super good.
Yeah. It's just interesting, like how they just decide, okay, we're just going to go further and further and further away from that like first album, right?
Yeah, that first album was so good that hooked me immediately. And, same with the second one. Like, second one's the Ingen Botten one. I think that's my favorite one.
That's it. But the first one and the second one are still kind of that like dark melodic punk, and then the third one, they kind of veer off into like more this territory. Then this one is like full on pop, right? So
good shit.
Good stuff. Yeah. All right.
Singer had Ugg boots.
She's a great singer. Like, she could be like in a real, like, she's a really amazing singer.
I would notice that too, Dennis. The singer had Ugg boots. It'd be like
hate them.
That's Swedish. What are you gonna do? All right, Dennis.
Hey, shit. Should I stay in Sweden, or
do you stay in Sweden? We'll do 4 in a row, right? If that happens. No, hang on. 5 in a row. No. Yes. Because you had Witch's Hammer, right? Canadian.
Canadian.
Yeah. Then let's do Sweden. Then it'll be 4 in a row. There you
go. All right. Motherfuckers, here
4
it is.
Swedens in a row. I love it.
Kids.
Uh-oh. Oh, there you go.
Ooh. Woo!
Yeah, this is a fucking scorcher.
You like that one?
Woo!
I think this is probably styled after the Puke album cover, I guess. I remember people complaining about this. Oh, how stupid are their fucking covers? But I don't know. It has a charm, I think, and I like the Puke nod or whatever. And this
Jesse thinks I don't like this record. I probably didn't at the time.
Yeah, it was weird for a lot of people because it was such a rock and roll guitar D-beat album or whatever, like, but it's amazing, and it just keeps fucking ripping and just keeps going and does not let up. It's
massive.
This is one of my favorite Swedish hardcore albums, I'd say, of anything past the 2000s. This record's freaking amazing. I like it by far way more than any of their other ones, which I know I'm probably in the minority on that. A lot of people like that Ona for Pleasure album a lot. I mean, I do too, but this is the one.
Does that band remind anyone of Annihilation Time at all?
There's a bit of that, like, guitar riff-olerage, if that's the word, going on. Like, you know.
I love that record. It's fucking badass.
2007? Was that what it was?
I saw him. I think Jesse was at that show. We saw him in Osaka. I think it was with Nightmare and DSB. I think.
Oh, probably around when that split 7-inch came out. Probably.
Yeah.
How were they?
Well, they were all right. I mean, I wasn't very excited about them on that day. But you know, they had to play after Nightmare and DSB, which is a bit of a tough thing to have to do, but they did. I think Jesse was at that show, I'm sure. Yeah. See, not. I think I do like that record now, but I think it starts off like so strong, like that first song just comes out of it, and it's kind of hard. They kind of do it, but it's kind of hard to keep up that standard like for the whole of the record. It's such a great opening song.
The riffs just keep going. It just keeps hitting, man. It's nuts.
I feel like they were like doing what they were taking like what like Uncurbed were doing to the next like logical like level, next like step in that.
Yeah, better guitar playing.
Playing,
and clearly like
like how much rock will people accept, from us? How much rock can you take in our hardcore?
It's fabulous, man.
Yeah, I like it better now than I did then, for sure, as Jesse says, yeah. The Skitkids, man. Great eyebrow.
Singular,
yes. Nukies. The Nukies apparently are on the same lines to... Go check out the Nukies. The Nukies.
It piques my interest.
Yeah, good name. Man Eaters is a great band. We're getting lots of recommendations. I like this audience participation. Man Eaters also a great band in that style.
She's a man eater.
Nukies.
The Nukies. I think the Nukies have been shown on this show before. That name rings a bell. Maybe I think of the Nuki Pikes. I don't know. All right, Matt.
All right, here we go. Right, there you go. We're going to stay close to Sweden.
Close to Sweden.
Yeah, globally close to Sweden.
Globally close to Sweden.
This record came out in 1982.
All right.
Anyone got a guess? Germany.
That's easy.
1982.
Globally close to Sweden, 82, easy.
Came out in Germany. German band, 1982.
The Buttocks.
In 1984, this record went platinum.
Okay, good job.
This is the Scorpions' Blackout. I want to say easily. This is the Scorpions' best album.
Oh, I share your opinion.
I love Uli John Roth. I fucking love Uli John Roth. But this is the Scorpions' best album.
I agree with you.
And I'll go through track by track.
I'll be on that journey with you.
Blackout, the first song. This is a dollar bin joint. I mean, this will fucking turn the party out. Like, Blackout, it's just starts out. It's just a barn burner. It's like one of those classic metal songs, like first song where it's just like, Can't Live Without You. Great riff. I mean, yes, the riff's just great. It could have been a hit, but it wasn't. Like, you had to pick. There's literally 10 hits on this album.
It's like Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Yeah, the third song is No One Like You. Have you ever heard that song?
Power ballad.
Yes, everyone's heard that song. It starts out with the highest note that you can possibly play on the guitar. And it's like literally, normally you'd be like, that's fucking dumb, but it's like, it hits you like right here. Like,
right
it's
in
like
the heart.
That song is like, there's a reason why it's globally famous. It's like, they like at this point, they're like 10 albums deep on this, and they know how to write seriously good hard rock songs. Like, You Give Me All I Need, like that song's badass. Like, it's like kind of a ballad, but then you're like, shit, it's got a heavy riff.
Yeah.
It's sick. And then side 2, Dynamite. Do you guys know this song, Dynamite by the Scorps?
Dynamite.
It's just, the riff is like I describe things as like, oh, that's like $1,000 riff. You know what I mean? And then there's bands that have $1 million riffs. There's not a whole lot of $1 million riffs out there. Fucking Dynamite by the Scorpions is worth $1 million. Like, it's fucking, there's a reason why this record's platinum. And then right after that is Arizona, which is just sick. Like, you just want to go like Havasu and like jam that song off your speedboat and fucking, Arizona, just kick it in the sun, drink some Coronas. Like, the song's awesome. And then China White. Like, that song is so sick. Of course, it's about heroin.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of slow groove. It's kind of like that one Savage song. It's kind of slow. They also have a song about the China Run about heroin.
Mm-hmm.
These albums came out in 82 and 83 respectively. Like, so and then When the Smoke is Going Down, like, it just brings the album down. Like, and it's such a cool song. It could have been a hit too. Like, this album is literally like, pick the song that's going to be the #1 hit. And yeah, this album is awesome.
It's classic.
And then the cover is so iconic. And I didn't grow up listening to the Scorpions. Like, I grew up like being like, but I remember this from being in the the Hesher Kids fucking crates when you go and be like at the Hesher Kids house and they're like, stealing people's bikes and shit. You had this album and it was like, that guy's got fucking forks sticking out of his eye. Perfect heavy metal record. Dollar Bin, Hypnosis album cover, like best design. Did the coolest album covers in the 70s and 80s, probably still now. I don't know. But
what's up with
this
the
album
forks?
is the shit. Literally a Dollar Bin.
Hypnosis,
probably still to this day. Anywhere you go, sold 2 or 3 million copies. Like, it's fucking great. I don't care what anyone says.
I agree with every word you said.
I love Uli John Roth, but that album smokes everything that Uli did. Sorry,
Agreed. I'm with you.
And I love Uli John Roth. I'm here to tell you, I love him.
That's
and
right.
I love Taken by Force and all, but they're all like, they have filler on all those albums. But
that one
there's no filler.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, I just went off.
No, I mean,
that was awesome.
That's what it's about.
Blackout.
That's what it's all about. I like it. So I have a T-shirt with that on it.
Yeah,
I wore it one time on this show. It's great. Yeah.
I think that I have a mashup of Maggot Brain with that guy as like the face. Like,
Absolute classic. Absolute classic. All right, Todd.
All right. This is a really tough one to follow. And
It is right. None of us can follow.
Yeah, you should have ended on that, dude, because it's all downhill.
Thanks for tuning in. It's been a great episode.
Yeah, see you guys. All right. So this is 1988, Seattle. I lived in Seattle for a while, so I figured I should shout out Seattle. I assumed that this was covered on this show already, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I think you covered their other album, but this is their second album. Dennis, Matt, you guys don't know this. So it's Holy Terror, Mind Wars.
Ooh, that's a Dennis high school favorite.
This is like a Dennis classic. He's the one who turned me on to this record. I figured just to like honor Dennis, I should like talk about this record on the show. Dennis like proselytizes about this record for very good reason. It's incredible. First of all, again, like the cover art is some demon monster breaking a cross. Like the 12-year-old, 13-year-old version of myself raised in an evangelical Christian home would have lost his mind if he saw this record. Like, this is like in 1988, this is like ultimate rebellion imagery right here. Like, this is so cool. The logo is sick. Like, look at those fucking skulls and monsters and stuff. Like, and I think a fucking egg for the O, of course. How are you gonna get an O?
Of course.
Egg, like, I haven't even talked about the music yet, and this record is like, sick as hell. Like, just the look of it. And then bootleg Geiger on the back cover, fucking classic, like metal record in the 80s. Need a bootleg Geiger, can't do without it. Second carbonized record, like we were just talking about. Fucking musically, it's incredible. Like thrash, like a theme for speed metal. I think that I think it's safe to say, like, at the edge of your ability, like playing at the edge of your ability, like there's something like that urgency to it that is like fucking cool. They're playing a little too fast, and it's awesome because of it. And the vocal patterns, and Dennis can speak to this more, like the vocals are like, he does too many words. Like he's like cramming it in, but he's like singing it. And like, it's like, there's just like a speed and an urgency to like all of it. And also like on a personal level for me, like I like the politics of it, like where they're coming from and their point of view. Like I'm super into that also.
Kind of unusual for that, like, general genre of music, right? To have like such political lyrics.
It's not like, I mean, it's not like crass or anything, but like it's for speed metal, like it's pretty, it's pretty right on. And like, a lot of metal, like I like, and there's a lot of metal that I love that I like don't agree with.
Right.
But like, I love this record. This is because of Dennis. I love Dennis, and I love this record, and like, it's a great record, and I love that record. And I figured it would be like worth it with this group to shout it out and bring it up with everybody.
Did I show that one, or did I show Terror and Submission?
Terror and Submission was on the list. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Which like I like doesn't like, it's the same band and it like doesn't hit me the same. Like Terror and Submission is like, if they only put out Terror and Submission, it would be totally a noteworthy record. But then they fucking put out Mind Wars, and that thing kills. It is so good, and like it just blows everything else they did out of the water. I mean, they're a 2 LP band, but like the second Mind Wars is so sick. And Dennis, I know you interviewed one of them, right? Like
Kurt. Yeah, fuck yeah, and then lost the tape. It was like an hour. We talked for like an hour. He's such a cool and fucking hilarious guy, the guitar player. And I just remember, like, in the MySpace days when we were on MySpace, he had a MySpace account. He was kind of reviving Holy Terror for a minute. And he would just write these like Harley Flanagan style rants, on MySpace. And he was just telling the most hilarious fucking stories about him trying to kill his tour manager with a 2x4 on stage and just all this fucking shit. Like, yeah, hilarious, dude. And he was like, to say about that album. What's that?
Was he in Zeke later on?
Yeah, he played in Zeke for a while.
Wow.
Which was a fighting band as well, weren't they? Get drunk and fight people. That was kind of their deal, right? But
Zeke are great.
Yeah, insane.
Actually, that Skitkids has a bit of Zeke in it, I want to say.
See that? Yeah.
A little bit.
But the thing that's so amazing about this Holy Terror album is the recording just, it's arguably bad. Like it's so compressed and weird sounding, like some 1990 pop punk record or something. I don't know. It's so weird sounding, but it's just so fucking good, and it's balanced enough so you just turn it up. Who cares? You're gonna enjoy it because it's just so damn good. But the recording's really weird. It kind of hurts it, but yeah.
I can like hear it in my head right now. Like we're not even like so many hooks and like vocal hooks and like chorus hooks and like and the riffs. Like it's such a sick record.
It's amazing because it's kind of technical, progressive, and yet it's still catchy, right?
Yeah, it's not like there's this like a lot of it's kind of like vaguely similar to Carbonized, and both like they're both trying to be stretching out a little bit and being like technical, but they're not going so far. Like it's like they'll do like a weird time signature, but they're still playing a pretty simple riff.
Right.
A weird
fast as hell.
And like for Holy Terror specifically, like just way too fast also. But it never
it never goes like Fate's Warning like that far progressive where you just don't want to.
No. Yeah, well, it gets too.
It's always raging.
Like their third album probably would have sucked. Like, like they, like they're the band that when they got good at their instruments, you probably wouldn't be as interested. Not that they were bad at their instruments at all, but like
that band, that Atheists, right? They went like over the bridge. It's like they went like too far into like progressive and prog rock. They went like too far.
Jazz fusion.
Yeah.
Probably have a flute in there or some shit.
That's actually let's move on. I was gonna say something about
I
was gonna say Blackout would have been a 10 out of 10 if only it had like a flute solo in there.
Blackout's a 10 out of 10.
It is a 10 out of 10. I know. You can't.
If it had a flute solo, it just
12 out of 10.
All records do better with flute solo. Holy Terror, Mind Wars. If it had a flute solo. Yeah.
Roger Patterson. Who's Roger Patterson? Was he a member of Holy Terror?
That's maybe the singer. The singer died.
Singer, okay.
The singer's name. Yeah, all right. I remember Kurt, back to Holy Terror, but he said he had no rhythm at all.
The singer, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Some of the shit, you're just like, what the fuck?
Atheist bassist, okay.
Yeah. Oh, atheist bassist. Okay. Yeah, I don't recall what Holy Terror vocalist's name is, but
yeah,
pass as well.
That's funny actually, because my next pick is not a tie-in, but it's I could tie it in. I reckon. I think I've got this. I think I can do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm going to try my best.
You're going to succeed.
I will. I am. I will. First of all, questions. I've got a couple of questions for you. Feel free to answer honestly to my question. Do you like No Means No? Anyone like
yes.
No Means... All right.
Yeah.
Everybody's on board with No Means No? Okay.
I almost brought wrong.
I did, but it's not my pick.
Oh, shit.
It's just a prop. This is just a prop to lead into my main pick, right? So we like No Means No.
Of hardcore.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Just being repressed, right? I didn't know that these records have got really expensive now. They're repressing them, right? Anyway, we like No Means No. We're okay so far. Do we like kind of technical thrash of the kind we've been talking about? We do. We've already established that. Add in a little bit of what I call Alchemy Records thrash, like from this compilation, right? Clown Alley, Berendts, Guillotine, Early Neurosis, The Grim, Sacrilege BC, a little different.
Gluey Porch Treatments.
There it is right there. So hold these thoughts in your mind. Now, imagine, if you will, if there was a band that came from like Victoria, BC, that were a perfect blend of like No Means No and like technical thrash and crossover. Did such a band exist? Yes, they did. And I've got the record to prove it. And it's on Supreme Echo, which I'm pretty sure that like the Witch's Hammer record was done by Supreme Echo, maybe later after. Anyway, Let me get to the point. The band is this band. The band's called Stick Farm.
Oh. Never heard of this.
I know this is a little bit obscure, but this is fucking great. They were teenagers from like Victoria, BC, like 16, 17-year-olds playing like this incredible music that sounds just like No Means No meets like crossover thrash or like thrash metal, and it's super technical and it's catchy as hell. Look at them; they're super young, like super young kids. Look at that; look like grungers, right?
Great hair.
Yeah, man. 7 Seconds t-shirt, young kids, Victoria, BC. I mean, it's actually kind of mind blowing. They put out 2 singles. I think this is like an unreleased like session or something. But man, I couldn't believe it when I put it on. It's like, man, it sounds like No Means No, but they're doing like thrash metal. It's crazy stuff, And even like, there's a huge booklet. Like Supreme Echo does like, it's like High Roller, like one of those things. They do a good job on like all their stuff, and you got there they are. SNFU t-shirt, No Means No t-shirt. Look at that. Stick Farm, Teenage Crossover Mayhem. So it's like crossover, but with like this huge like dolloping of like No Means No. in there. It's pretty crazy stuff. I'm a big fan of this record. It's great. Yeah.
The cover is something.
It's very kind of 90. It's from like 1991, right? Like 19.
Okay, I was gonna guess based on how they were dressed. I was like, looks very
exactly right.
Getting ready to hit.
They were kids, man, like 17, 16, 17-year-olds. It's absolutely mind-blowing, like the level of musicianship on this record, like for these like teenagers. Unbelievable. What else was I going to say? Oh, there's a little bit of a tie-in, like Jason Flower does Supreme Echo. And he was like in a band with the guys from Neos.
Oh, yeah, the noisecore stuff.
Mexican Power Authority.
Yeah.
He was in that band. So a guy from Stick Farm was in that band, and he was in a band called...
Jason was in that band? Okay.
Yeah. Jason Flower was in that band, and he was in Black Kronstadt too, if you remember that band.
I remember them, yeah.
I thought you might, yeah. So he went on to those bands like after this, but like, man, check it out. Like, it's quite mind-blowing, you know, like No Means No meets crossover thrash. One of a kind band, I would say. I've been having a good time with it.
Nice.
There you go.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to ask questions about it, right? But
yeah, I don't even know what.
Right?
It's hard to. Is the production more on the metal side, or is it more?
It's
on the hard
kind of. It's really like it's got the bass. It's bass heavy. I just keep coming back to like just imagine No Means No playing like thrash metal, and you got it right, you know. And the vocals are not metal. The vocalist sounds like the guy from No Means No, which is also kind of interesting.
A lot of reverb on the drums, probably. It's 1991.
Yeah.
Any flutes?
That cover's fucking ugly.
Unfortunately, not. They missed a chance there.
Bullshit. Hate it.
No flutes?
No flutes.
Fuck that band.
No, it's not pre-Annihilator. That these kids were like souping out. Actually, I didn't check what other members did, but I know that Jason's doing Supreme Echo, and he was in a whole bunch of bands. And he's coming on this show. He's coming on the show soon, like next month, I think. So, there you go.
Met him once in Montreal.
Stick Farm.
Long time
Let me just make sure people know. Stick Farm and Reharvest is the name of the record. So there you go.
Cool.
Nice. Sounds good.
I'm a big fan. Yeah. All right, Dennis.
All right. I'm going weird.
Whoa.
This is my weird choice.
Weird. Dennis, you're weird.
It's not that weird. It's a pop album, but
cool.
Weird.
Listen to it a lot. It's got a lot of weird influences that, you know, funk, African music, all kinds of weird shit. Dude's from Columbus. It's gonna be a Columbus shout. Not from Columbus, but he lived in Columbus for a while.
Cool.
Dude, Ahmed. But this album, Sinkane Life and Living It.
Woo!
Matt, you like this album?
I don't know it, but I like him. He's a really nice guy. He's a fantastic person. Cool dude. Good drummer.
Kids Records bag
Hardcore
on the cover.
kid.
Yeah, he was in a Columbus band, Sweetheart, with Brian Parker and some other folks. They just released a long lost album of theirs. Just came out. I knew Brian more than Ahmed. I talked to Ahmed some, but not a ton. He's the drummer in that band, but that was what, early 2000s Columbus band. Kind of sound like they were from Kent.
Yeah, they were from
Kent style stuff. Good band. Anyway, this album, which is the album I'm talking about.
I was getting confused for a second. I almost lost the plot there for a second.
Sorry.
I totally lost it.
So where am I? What are we talking about?
I think it's the jellies. Anyway, this Amanda and I listen to this album a lot, just like in the car all the time, throwing it on in the house. The drumming and the instrumentation is just really well done. A lot of cool influences, really smooth vocal delivery too. I mean, I'm not saying he's on the level of like Curtis Mayfield, but like that kind of like, I mean, he would be on that level, you know, but that vibe and just really well done and just really catchy songs. And I especially like the drumming on this thing. Whoever the drummer is, I'm not sure, but like, dude is killing it and just playing really cool shit. And I think that's kind of like the icing on this album. But every song is really good. There's some really catchy songs and killer album. Like it a lot. Life and Living It.
What's the name of the band?
Sinkane.
Sinkane.
Yeah. New album coming out soon too.
I feel like he did an album with David Byrne, didn't he? Or he's worked with David Byrne, I feel like. He did an album with William Onyebor, who did that song Atomic Bomb.
Nice. Yeah.
Him and Sinkane did an album together, I think. Or
Oh, wow.
Released music together.
Wow.
But
That's
that dude's, I think that's cool, man. He just like left Ohio and just moved to New York and just started doing all kinds of crazy cool shit. Like, more power to him, man.
Yeah.
Cool person.
Album rules.
I'll check that out.
Me too. I'm interested.
Yeah, it's my favorite of the ones that I've checked out most of them at this
Is there
point.
any flutes on it, Dennis?
Probably.
Then I'll definitely, I'll dig it for sure.
Yeah, there's like 40 different instruments on this thing.
Cool. If there's flutes, I'm in for sure.
Can we drop the flute thing?
No. Oh,
All
day.
Anyway.
Oh, there's more flutes coming, Mike.
You know what? I thought there might be. All right. What's your flute pick of the day? Sorry, your fourth pick of the day.
Oh, well, all right. This is going to be non-flute music.
bullshit. Hate it.
All right. This record's from 2003. After I figured out, I was like, I didn't do any 70s rock, which is really weird. Like,
That's right.
I'm a 70s rock dude, and I picked a bunch of records not from the 70s, but this is my hardcore punk pick, and I need some help with this one because this band, they were fantastic, and this is their third album. This is their best album to me, easily, and you hear it, and it's like it sounds like Motorhead, but there's something else in this music that I can't figure out where it's coming from.
Third album.
There's nothing fucking metal about this band at all. There's nothing bluesy about this band at all. But their number one, it's obvious their number one influence is Motorhead.
Oh, I got it. I think I know what it is.
It's fucking amazing. And this record is their best record.
Inepsy? Oh,
fucking Born Dead Icon.
Nice, man. Nice.
Ruins. And all of their records are great. But this one is something about it that's just different. About
You have
all
great
the
taste,
music
man.
of the time that was coming out. And I hear Motorhead first and foremost, but there's nothing metal about this record. It sounds like Husker Du, or it sounds like The Hated. Like, it's like there's this weird melody. It's not like there's two guitars, but they're not doing what I would do with two guitars, which would try to sound like fucking Trouble. But they're not doing that kind of shit. They're trying to. It's something else. There's something going on that's like. It's so fucking good. And like the first song just starts off with like one chord, and it's just like kind of like, and then it's just bam, like, and then 2 minutes of just raging. And it's just, there's like all this little melodies going on.
Yeah.
But it's fucking Motorhead for sure. But I know they love the Wipers. Like there's some other Wiper shit that on other records, you can hear the Wipers in their music. I hear Husker Du. I hear two Bob Molds, and like
because they trade vocals,
Motorhead,
right? One guy sings one song, and another guy sings another song, right? And they both have really
There's
good.
something different about this, even than their other records, which I think their other records are fantastic and stand out from all the other bands of this era. But this record's, there's something, I still come back to it, and literally like it came on in the car last week. Of course, I was like, oh, what am I gonna listen? What am I gonna talk about on the show? And then this came on in the car, and I was like, well, I'm gonna fucking talk about Born Dead Icons because this shit just smokes. And I don't know, like Dennis knows these guys really well. Like, I feel like I saw this band in Columbus once, and maybe my band played with them. I'm not sure, but if I would have saw them when they played this shit, I would have lost my shit. This shit fucking just smokes. It's amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
Super fast. There's so much melody. I can't figure out where the melody's from, but it's raging all at the same time. It doesn't slow down. Like, killer record.
You know,
no bullshit. No cliches of hardcore music. It's like an amalgamation of like some shit that only these guys could come up with. Good job. Thanks, Born Dead Icons. You were the best.
You know what? I'm really glad. I'm really glad that you said that's your favorite because it's my favorite too.
It's and something about it.
And
it's
you don't really meet. I haven't really met too many people on my travels that say that's their favorite. They like prefer the one before the first album, but for me,
I like all of them. But that one's
great.
There's something about
like
that one that stands above like the others. It's kind of emotional. It's like, there's a real like power and like atmosphere to it, and
it reminds me of the Hated. Like it's like got this thing like the Hated. When you hear it, it's like it's got this like melody and like this urgency, and that's what that reminds me of. Like, but I can't. Like I don't know those dudes. Like it's like the Hated and Motorhead. Like I don't fucking know. But good job, guys.
I mean, I got this the other day, and it's probably like their worst record, but it's still great.
They didn't. Yeah, they didn't make any bullshit.
No. It's kind of still sounds fresh today because they weren't pulling on too many cliches. They were doing a lot of like So, oh god, there's there's that band.
Did Born Dead Icons play in Columbus?
Couple times.
Did they play at Edition 13?
Yeah, pretty sure they played there.
There was a show there. There was some kind of controversy where they got like added on. Like there was a show that was going to be, and then a bunch of other bands got added on, and maybe I turned into a baby dick about the show.
Yeah, it wasn't that show. That was the Black Hand. Yeah, Black Hand.
Okay, I get those bands confused. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I had to let Page 99 on the show as a favor to Adam Lowe, even though I didn't want to. But I mean,
but like 3 a.m. on a weekday.
Oh yeah, you were furious. And then I gave all the money to the out of town bands, and you were just pissed. You weren't having it. But to be fair, yeah, I should have talked to you about it first before just making that decision.
No, I feel like that show. I guess I get Black Hand and Born Dead Icons mixed up because they're all kind of same scene, I guess. But I guess maybe I never saw Born Dead Icons, so shame on me. What a fucking great!
I bet you did. They've played Columbus several times. Toured with From Ashes Rise. You probably saw them with them.
Yeah.
La Fraction. You probably didn't do that one. That was at
they toured with La Fraction.
Ooh, pretty cool. Those are really cool. Oh my god, yeah. Both bands were just so good live, consistently, and yeah, that was cool.
Do you guys hear like some kind of like Husker Du or some kind of weird
a bit of Wipers? It's a bit of Amoebics Motorhead, like Husker Du, Wipers kind of.
Yeah, like there's something about it because I was like, when you hear like a Motorhead influence, you're like, well, you can pull metal out of it and you can pull like blues out of it, but Born Dead Icons. There's no metal at all. There's nothing metal about that band.
It's so far removed of what we know as like motor punk.
That's what's so cool. Far removed. I think at the time everyone was like using like metal cliches in their music and pretending that they didn't like metal, which that good job, but like that's metal. But Born Dead Icons didn't do that. They didn't have any metal in their music. Like they just fucking had. They were just fast.
Great band. That band, Complications, is good too, right? Like,
yeah.
They were great. I do remember seeing Complications, and they were awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Classic. Absolute classic.
Hell yeah.
Man, I wish I'd pulled out more classics.
Mm.
What are you gonna do? It's like, all right, Todd, what you got?
All right, this is a pretty recent release.
Oh, nice.
It's a punk record, and it's a live record. And who wants a live record in like 2022, 2023? Like, there's no point to that at all. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But this record is actually perfect that it's live, because their studio recordings are all their studio recordings are good, but they kind of tonally and sonically are a little bit different. So this sort of unifies all their songs and their sound. And I love this band. It's another band I love.
Oh,
This so this is on Iron Lung Records. Just like fucking sheets of distortion, like just peeling on top of it. Like, sonically, this is like an insane record. And this is live. This is Frank's setup that he is able to produce live, and it's absolutely insane sounding. And he can just create these sounds. Like, they could be, if they took away the drums and the bass and the vocals, it would be like a noise record, like just straight up. Like, and then there's like UK 82 bass and drums underneath it, and those incredible vocals, and like, again, like, awesome point of view, really cool politics, like so smart and like thought out, and like they like pretty much like do world building within like themes and art and repetition of concepts, and like very smart people like making super cool and interesting music. They love Disorder and Chaos at UK. That's pretty much what they're doing, their own take on it, but they're not biting and sounding British. Like, they're American. They sound American. It's just, I think they're like the coolest, and I really love this band. And like, it's their studio records, because Frank's guitar tone is so out of its mind. Like, they sound so different from each other. So like, this is kind of like a greatest hits, but legitimately, like, they don't. It's super weird, obscure band, but like, it's just cool. It's just really cool. It's a great idea. I mean, I know when they did the performance, they were able to capture it on the live board, and it turned out that it was like totally good to go. They had already done the 12-inch EP on Iron Lung, and we're playing a Iron Lung kind of records showcase kind of festival thing in Seattle, and it turned out, I mean, they're always great live. I've seen them like 3 or 4 times. They always kill it. They'll play to like 10 people in a living room or like 200 people in a theater, and it doesn't matter. They like just fucking kill it. They destroy every time. Awesome band. Also, like, my only weird funny story is one time I saw them, and Frank he had his guitar unplugged, and he grabbed the cable, and it making contact with the cable made the exact same sound as if when he was plugging it in, playing it. And I thought that was like fucking brilliant. That is like to like play guitar and like, kind of throw shapes and like be able to like look cool playing a guitar, but like the sound is going to happen no matter what. And it also, the sound is like brilliant. I like absolutely love it. I'll stop now.
Yeah, like that whole like super fuzzed out, blown out, like not crash across it. It's not really my thing, but that's one of the few bands that I make an exception for, because I think they're a bit special.
I'm not in love with like all of that scene, but there's a few bands, but like they like just, and I think it's because they're not trying to be a part of that. The other thing I think that's great about them, and like it's kind of some of the other bands we've talked about, like Born Dead Icons, like they do their own thing. Like, they were doing like this blown out noise thing before it was cool, and then like it got really cool for like 5 or so years, and now it's kind of not cool again. But they're just consistently doing what they do what they want to do, and that is always awesome. Like, regardless of like Born Dead Icons, one of the reasons why they're awesome is because you can't hear other bands from the same era in their sound. Like, they listen to their own records that they and they're not trying to be another band that exists right now or following a trend. Like the through line with all these bands is that like they do what they want independent of what's going on at the time, and they're also, you have to be good at it too, but they are good. All these bands are like good at it as well, which makes it awesome. And it's like there's an authenticity to that like comes through and you can pick up and hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What I love too is that it's so catchy also.
There's hooks.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. It's like sometimes it's like Melt Banana on Disorder or whatever.
Totally.
Love it.
There's way too many bands like they just want to get a sound. They don't really care about writing songs, and I don't like that. I want songs, even if it's like super noisy. There's got to be something to latch onto, a hook, a melody, something, you know. So, and they have that absolutely.
Yeah, they do the patterns.
Yeah,
repeating patterns that get your attention.
Yeah. Great band. You know, I have that record. I actually didn't know that it was live.
Yeah, that's why it's called synaptic noise disassociation. It's a live board recording.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right, my turn. I'm going obscure again. I'm sorry. I guess this is obscure. Finnish punk. Old Finnish punk. Very old. The oldest of the old. I know. Did any of you guys pick up that T. Carey record from last year? No, that was like, okay. I guess there's a lot of people in the comments who did pick up that record. It's one of my favorites from last year. It's a new band called T. Carey, Finnish band, who are basically doing like the old school, like Finnish, like sing-along, sing-songy punk. They just like nail that like old style of like Finnish punk. One of the best records of last year. That's not my pick. That's been shown like 5 times already on this show. I've kind of gone back to the roots of that record. Let's have a look at this first, and then I'll segue into what I'm going to talk about. This record. Bloodstains Across Finland. What's your favorite band of Bloodstains Across Finland? Right.
Let me see that.
Bryard. Loose Prick. Epunomali. That's a pretty famous band. Epunomali. Pele. Anyway, there's one band on this record that has a fucking 2 LP discography, which kind of blew my mind. When I saw it, I know that band from like Bloodstains Across Finland, and I like the 2 songs on here. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna buy it." And it's this band. Are you ready for this? This is heavy, man. Look at that. Look at the size of that. You could. That's a life jacket. That's a life jacket. But, check out these cool customers. Hellhound. Yeah. So I guess like their first 7 inches on Bloodstains Across Finland. This is their entire discography on a double LP. It's their LP, their 3 singles and like bonus tracks. It's great. It's just like that amazing, like sing-songy, you know, like having a good time, drinking a lot of vodka, drinking a lot of beer, punk, you know. But
so well.
You might be thinking to yourself as you look at this picture, look at these guys, you know, with the long hair and the beards and stuff, you know. And it's funny because I went back and looked at the notes about Hellhound on here, and apparently, like, people didn't like them because they were already old. Like all the other bands were like 19 years old, 20 years old. These guys were like 25 years old. You know, they were like over the hill, and I guess they kind of come from like the rock scene in Finland, and then they started playing punk right when like punk came along. But great band, man. It's like, I don't know. Just catchy, old school Finnish punk, rescued by Svart Records. Talking about great labels that do amazing. Like this is a Svart Records production, so you know it's going to be good quality. A lot of work and love went into it. It's the huge booklet with all the flyers and the interviews and stuff. But it's funny because You know, this is like 1978 to 1980, right? And it is funny because these definitely were like guys that have grown up with like rock, started playing punk. So it's a gift because what do you get? You get like these fucking like twin guitar leads, you know, Wishbone Ash and Thin Lizzy, like twin guitar leads mixed in with like this like sing-songy Finnish like punk. Not on every song. Every now and again, they're like fucking out that like sound. That's like Wishbone Ash or like
Nice.
Thin Lizzy. It's pretty
Any
cool, you know.
Any saxophone? Some of those Finnish things have some saxophone on them.
No sax, no flute. I know this was like super cheap. I got it for, but great, great stuff. If you like old Finnish punk and you're a maniac, pick up.
Dude, love that shit. Just eat it up.
You like it? The old Finnish punk?
For a while, I was buying like every Svart reissue of any of that old Finnish stuff. Just buy it.
Oh man, this is right up your alley then. If you're still on that pathway, this is a must for
check that one out for sure.
It's a very long title. You can see it there, but Hellhound, Svart Records. It'll come up, right? So there you go. That's my last pick. Some obscure old Finnish punk made by rock dudes.
Cost me $30 to buy that one though. Doubt I'll find that in a $400 yen bin.
This is. I know I didn't want to say that, but this was actually 501 yen, which is absolutely insane to me. That's disc union.
Damn.
They're throwing the money away, you know.
Yeah, that's an easy $35 record if I found that here.
Maybe it came out 2 years ago, 2022. Okay. So it's still out there, I guess. I just wonder who buys these things. Like who buys it? Me and you. I don't know.
Yeah, we got like a whole cube of them. Good shit.
Good stuff.
It's really catchy though. That's the thing.
It is, man. There's just something about it very unique. Like that old Finnish punk is something like very unique about it.
Yeah. All right, I'm going with this. I've just been listening to this a lot since it came out. We're going Chicago metal. Came out a few years ago. Midnight Dice.
Midnight Dice.
Yes. Sick fucking cover. It's got a giant poster of that in it, of course. But yeah, People from Satan's Hollow. It's their follow-up band. This is probably one of my favorite metal albums in the past 15 years or something, I'd say. But this is like them minus one dude that was writing all the Satan's Hollow songs. But it's a little more rock and roll. It's just really good and really catchy. Do a nice sweet cover too. They cover "Set Me Free" on their first 7-inch.
That's a nice choice of covers.
Yeah. Bonus. I got that one. Oh wait, no, it's not on this actually. Maybe it's just on the Bandcamp or something. They did it on this recording. They didn't put it on their 7-inch or something. But title design. That's drawn on with golden paint pen. Probably gonna cover that up with something soon. But anyway, yeah, this band kicks ass. Midnight Dice.
Great name. I'm sold. Midnight Dice. I'm in.
They're really
rock
good.
And roll heavy metal.
They're badass.
Yeah.
I've heard them.
Real catchy.
It's fine. I didn't expect like so much metal tonight. I kind of knew Dennis might bring in some. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking through my hardcore 7-inches, and I almost brought the Accomplice record, and then I saw someone did that one already. Jen did that one. And,
yeah.
looking through the Japanese records, just ended up with all this metal and rock and roll.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Mid-century mama. There you go.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh,
Another inside joke. I'm still laughing at it. I don't know what it means.
All right.
All right,
I do
Matt.
live in a mid-century
All right.
house.
I'm going deep classic.
Let's go.
Deep classic.
Deep classic. This record is like never super far away from being in rotation ever for like the last 20 years of my life, probably. And I still don't know when the fucking songs start and end. I don't like. It's kind of like there's so much information on this record, and every time I listen to it, there's something I discover about it that's new, and it kind of reminds me of Rain and Blood. Like when you listen to Rain and Blood straight through, you're like, what the fuck just happened? Or like Melissa by Merciful Fate, or the Captain Beyond first album, where it's just like everything starts and ends so fast, you don't know what's going on. Another record similar to that is like Protestant by Rorschach. Like the songs will start, like you don't really know when a song starts and ends. It's so much information. There's so much shit going on. But it came out in 1991, and it is a classic heavy metal record. This is one of the best records ever made.
That's Cathedral.
Forest of Equilibrium by Cathedral.
Hail Liborian.
The guitars on this record I've spent trying to emulate in my own music, and I can't do it. It sounds like the fucking strings are falling off the guitars, but it's still so mournful and so musical. And like I always hear something new on this record every time I listen to it, and like it's just fucking brilliant.
Classic.
It starts off with a fucking flute solo. I'll tell you that.
Just stop for a second.
It's fucking amazing.
Somewhat.
And the last song on it, I think it's called Reaching Happiness, Touching Pain. It is fucking amazing. It starts off with flute. It's got the sickest doom riff with a flute solo over it. And it's just perfect music. Like, it's fucking perfect. And then there's so much shit going on in this fucking record. And then at the end, I'm just talking about the ending. I'm going to go back and talk about the beginning too. But the ending of this record, it's like a funeral dirge, but it's like a guitar harmony, and then it's matched with a synthesizer harmony, and it's fucking wrong. Like, so like, you know, like doom metal, like it's like most of it sounds right, you know, but like this shit sounds wrong. They're like, let's make it sound more fucked up. Like, how can we make it sound more wrong? And they did it all on this record. And like other bands, like, I mean, I love, this is probably my favorite genre of music is doom metal and reggae. So like all of the original doom bands have like a perfect album, but like this one, just, I don't know, I think it might be my favorite one. It might be better than the first Saint Vitus album. I don't know. Like, I can't, like, every time I listen to this record, I'm fucking blown away. It's fucking one of the best, perfect records. Everything about it, I'm 100% in love with. I listened to their next record, and I'm like, this is pretty cool, but no, let's just listen to Forest of Equilibrium again. Like, this is the one. This is a creative masterpiece of fucking heavy music. 100%. Thanks, guys. Holy shit.
I mean, we haven't mentioned the $1 million riff. Cathedral have a lot of them.
There's so many $1 million riffs on this record. Like that. I mean, you have $1 million riffs with fucking flute solos over it. And then,
perfect, right?
And then and Lee Dorian, like Lee's awesome. Like there's the vocals on this record. Like I don't like, the older I get, the more I want to hear someone sing, the more I want to hear a melody and voice. Like, and this record's really morose. Like, Lee sounds fucked up. Like
he has his own style, which a lot of people don't like. I think he's amazing.
Record.
It's kind of creepy sounding. Like
it's its own instrument. I listen to it as like its own instrument. Like it's like I don't necessarily like, because I listen. There's no hooks on this record. It's full of $1 million riffs, and I guess there's hooks, but there's no vocal. There's no like, here's a chorus where we're gonna show off the vocals. Nah, it's just sad. It's just like woe is me shit, but like it's perfect. Everything everything about this record's perfect, and I can tell that like they love Captain Beyond, they love Coma's First Utterance, that album. It's all over this.
Yeah.
Fucking The Skull, one of my favorite albums, all over this. The first Saint Vitus album, the slowness, the fucking sadness. The thing that's different is Lee, like Lee's voice is what's like kind of sets this record apart from a lot of shit, because it's not a heavy metal voice. He doesn't sound like Scott Rears or fucking Eric Wagner. I know like all those guys were, it's like a different thing. And I think that it's because death metal already happened. Like Napalm Death already happened. They already went, it comes from extreme metal, like where like Vitus and Trouble come from like 70s rock. But these guys are like post Napalm Death. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do after Napalm Death? Like this, I guess. Like, but at that point, like, there's no like, you can do whatever you want. Like, we've already done the fastest shit ever. Like, so let's do something like. It's just, to me, this is just like the most. It's just like the best of creativity in music. Like, I can listen to this record 1 million times. It's the shit.
Cathedral was mind blowing.
10 out of 10. Desert Island album. Like, I would take this before any Black Sabbath album.
Wow.
Because I hear something new in it every time. Like I don't ever know what's coming next. I'm like, what's coming next? I know it's going to be fucking good. I know there's a flute solo at the beginning of the last song and a fucking killer synthesizer charge at the end of the last song. And that's all that I really know what's going to happen on the record. The rest of it, I just know I'm going to be satisfied. It's fucking great.
Hey, you know what I like? I celebrate the entire catalog. I go deep with Cathedral. But the last record they did, The Last Spire, is fucking amazing as well, right? What a way to go out.
They look like fucking freaks, man. Like, these dudes don't look like they're in a graveyard hugging fucking gravestones. And like they're like thanking all the weirdest bands. In 1993, I heard Cathedral. Like, I heard the album after this when I was like young. I was probably 20 or so when it came out. But like, they're thanking all these bands. Like, I'm like, you absorbed all this shit at this age, like all these crazy fucking bands. Like, that's fucking amazing, and you barf this shit out. Like,
they did exactly what Napalm Death did by like thinking Confuse and all that kind of stuff on their records, right? They did the same, but with like the obscure.
Yeah, it's like if you wanted to die, if you were a young man, if I was going to be like, okay, I came up in the vinyl and tape trading era, like maybe instead of like downloading a bunch of music, just read all these fucking bands and listen to them, and then start your own fucking doom metal band. It'll probably be pretty good. Like, shit, this is killing. But yeah, this record, I don't know. Like, I could go on all day I could talk about this record for 2 hours, no problem. Like,
go ahead.
And I know we have asides about things on Analog Attack. I've watched the show before. Like, there's a Cathedral 7-inch on Southern Lord that came out I don't know, like maybe 15 years ago, in the beginning of Southern Lord, when they had a singles club, and I subscribed to their singles club, and I got this Cathedral 7-inch, and it is the most raging fucking D-beat song. It's called Earth in the Grip of a Skeletal Hand. That's the name of the song.
Yes.
And it's this raging D-beat song, and it's super dry. The drums are 100% dry. There's no reverb, nothing. And it's raging, detuned, D-beat fucking feedback, nasty shit. And it just collapses into this sick fucking doom metal part that's just like this raging, like sick doom dirge after this D-beat thing. You have to hear that song. It's one of their best songs. It's like, just starts out like Discharge, like fucking Realities of War. And it's just like, but it's cathedral guitars. Like, so they're tuned to like Z. And yeah, it's really good. And it's called Earth in the Grip of a Skeletal Hand. That's one of my favorite cathedral songs.
It's probably on YouTube.
Besides everything on this album.
Coolest song title.
They always have cool song titles too, right?
Yeah, I mean, brilliant. Like, I don't know if that record, you guys have that kind of connection to that record, but I don't know. It's kind of a mystery. It just like every time I hear it, I'm like, wow, there's like something, you know, every time I hear something new in it, and it's always like just brilliant. Like, there's so much $1 million riffs on that record. It's like
$1 million riffs.
Yeah,
there's a lot of very obscure like British prog in there too.
Oh yeah,
in there.
Yeah,
because of Lee. Yeah.
Yeah, then in the way the solos are mixed, to like they mix the solos, like the guitar solos, like really loud, like you can tell they crank them, and sometimes it's like you can tell maybe they're fucking with the volume knob in the mix, like because it's coming in and out, and yeah, it's fucking out there shit.
Classic.
Thank God, man. I mean, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Todd, it falls upon your shoulders to finish up the show.
Following Matt sucks.
Yeah, right. Well, change the order next time. You can go last.
All right.
Then I have to go. Go ahead.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
That's a very interesting pick. Yeah, for Hawkwind.
Yeah.
Man.
In the keeping with the theme of like this show, like this is what I've been listening to for like the past 6 months, pretty much. Like this is like one of my more recent Hawkwind pickups. I've gotten to the point where like I've gotten all like the classics, and so I'm like going deep, and I'm kind of getting at this point in my life where I'm like seriously considering like, should I just only listen to Hawkwind? It seems like there's like few bands that like I would say you could like make the argument that like if I would only listen to one band, I could listen to this band, and they're a great band, and they have like several eras, and they kind of do several different styles, and they do them well. Like for instance, like Poison Idea, I would say is one of those bands where like they're like a punk band, and then they're like a hard rock band, and then they're like kind of a heavy metal band, and then they're a hardcore band, and like kind of do all those things all at the same different times, like really well. Like Hawkwind, like way more longevity. All these lineups, like I love Motorhead. They're probably my favorite band, and so like I got into Hawkwind through Motorhead, all the Lemmy recordings, and then I was like, I'll just fucking keep going. And then like recently, like I got into Hawk Lords because like that's where I'm at in my life, where I fucking want to listen to new wave Hawkwind now.
Captain Lockheed and the Starfighters is another one.
Yeah. I haven't gone there. I mean, I've heard those, and I like can't go there yet, but like I'm doomed. I'm probably like ending up there soon. So like this album again, like for me, like the cover is so insane. Like these colors are nuts. Like fucking aqua blue and pink and yellow. Like this is like height of like new wave era. This is like 79. Am I hitting on something here?
Yeah, they were like starting to put a lot of that new wave and stuff into their music right around that time. Right.
Yeah. And like it's like even in like the design here, and like I just like I'm always like attracted to this sort of stuff, and so like it just the fucking psychedelic like fucking lightning bolts and like it's it's a cool cover. Shot Down in the Night, Motorway City, Spirit of the Age. Those are all pretty good. Those are like the good.
I love Motorway City. I love that era of Hawkwind. So
yeah, like, and then like the B-sides, like where it really takes off. It starts off with Brainstorm, which is like a fucking killer song. Lighthouse, which is like some kind of like interlude thing, and then they go. The reason why I love this record is Masters of the Universe or Master of the Universe. Like the lyrics to that song are so fucking ill, and like just like I am the master of this universe, like that's your fucking opening statement, like, and then you're going, yep, Matt's got it. Like it's a sick song, and this version of Master of the Universe is like heavy, fucking really heavy, and like just driving. I've been using that word a lot tonight, but so I guess I like driving music. But like it's really like pushing that version. There's the older recordings are I love that song, all the versions, but they're a little like more laid back. But this is like more of like they heard punk and they're like, we should kind of put that into our sound, and it fucking works. I mean, it's a weird, like at this point in time, they got Dave Brock, and that's the only name I recognize on the list.
Hang on, who's the guitar player on that? There's that era they when they get fucking what's his name, like Harvey Bainbridge, guys like that are in the band.
Harvey Bainbridge is on it, and then Hugh Lloyd Langton.
That's the guy that I'm a huge fan of. He's the guy that was the ace guitarist from that era. Is Hugh Lloyd Langton, yeah.
So, Master of the Universe on the Live 79 recording is so good. It's like Annihilation Time. We talked about them earlier. Like they covered Master of the Universe, and I'm gonna guess they heard this version of it. And they're like, oh yeah, we should like fucking go for that. Like, and you can hear it. And then they do like a really funny thing at the end where they close it out with Silver Machine, but they like end it like a minute in with an atomic bomb blast sound. Like it's a live recording, so they do Master of the Universe and they like kill it, and the audience is like, fuck yes! And then they go into Silver Machine, which is like the hit, and they're like, ah! And then like you're super excited, and then they just explode because they literally run out of like room on the record for the song, so they're like, fuck it, we'll just put it on and blow it up. Like that is like, it's like to me like that's like, as an outsider, that's like British humor at its best. Like that's fucking funny. Like that's what a great idea. And like it's like everybody knows the song already that likes Hawkwind, so like why not blow it up? Like super cool.
Yeah, man, I love that era of Hawkwind. They're kind of like making things a little bit more compact, bringing that kind of like punk and new wave, like Sonic Attack, the album Sonic Attack I love, and Quark, Strangers and Charm, all those like late 70s, early 80s records. I really like. I'm a huge fan of that era.
I almost pulled out the Ginger Baker record, but I decided to go for this one instead.
That's a great one too, though.
It is. Yeah.
Levitation. Yeah.
Yeah, I was either gonna do like this or Levitation. I was like, I'm gonna do this one because Master of the Universe is so fucking good on this one. But I also Levitation's like a recent pickup as well, so I've been listening to that a lot. Those are like the two Hawkwind. Like I'm listening to like the weird ones. I'm like not.
Yeah, you got to get the ones they did with Brian Eno. Like those things are so good. Like whatever. What is it? Lucky Leaf and the Long Ships or whatever.
That's new to me.
Great. There's an album the guys from Hawkwind did with Brian Eno called Lucky Leaf and the Long Ships.
Wow.
And there's another one. I have both of them. I forget they're back there with all my Hawkwind records, but they're fucking great. Like there's two. I think it's Robert Calvert and Brian Eno is one of them, and then. But yeah, if you're on the I'm going down a Hawkwind deep hole. Those are some good ones.
There's been a lot of Masters of the Universe, like a lot.
Yeah, it's a killer song.
It is, man. It's
heavy. Sound check.
So that's mine.
That's a great way to let's blow up Silver Machine. That's what better way to end it.
Yeah,
Silver Machine.
All right, what a great episode! What a great time we had. Awesome. Let me introduce next week's show. We've got Mikey Erg from the Ergs coming on. That'll be a good show. Paul Bayer, the funniest man in America. And Mike Woodford, who gave him this t-shirt. That's who's coming on next week. Same time, Friday, February 23rd, 10 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in. Thanks for coming on, Dennis, Matt, Todd. It's been great. We'll stick around for a little bit after the show, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Have a bit of a chat about Beyonce after the show. All right, thanks for tuning in. See you all next week. See you next Friday. Have a great week. Yes, stay healthy and stay